So you can use your English. The Greeks are very well-traveled people. They are seamen, the majority of them. This is also the country where the majority, one of, is the land of the many ship owners. We did have one. Piece of architecture opened for the Summer Olympics in 2004, just a week before the Summer Olympic was inaugurated.
Person winning the victory, the woman, had ignored every male. More than 40,000 male spectators, seating capacity of the stadium according to archaeologists, with 10 male judges. The truth is there was another woman in there. She was a priestess. Alright, she has the right to be there. The priestess of the goddess Demeter, the goddess of the cycle of life. Eh? And when the mother saw the son, she stood up screaming happiness. And by the meantime, she began
The difference of all of them that you will find here is that they cultivate in different regions of Greece. Here you will find from Kalamata and from Patra. So Kalamata and Patra, they're 60 miles far from here. This is south and this is north. This one, it's a local one from Olympia, and for example, for this year they have succeeded to have a maximum acidity 0.4, around 530 before Christ. And Pythagoras invented this cup to punish his students because they get drunk. To use this cup, it was one simple rule. You can drink as much as you want, you can refill it as many times as you wish, but never you shouldn't pass your limit. If you don't pass drink inside, which is your limit, you can drink and refill it as many times as you want. This is your limit, okay? Nothing happens. But if you get greedy, because you will be drunk of course, and you pass this limit, but the worst part is that you can't refill it. It must be totally empty to refill it again. So this cup is based on the theory about the life. Everything must be in moderation, nothing in excess.
Clear enough? I don't want you to look at my hands as I'll be clapping. What I want you to do is to close your eyes and focus on what you hear. So you will hear the sound starting here where I'm clapping and traveling at every part of the theater, reaching the highest parts. But that's when I want you really focused, because when the sounds reach the top, it's as if the sound disappears for a flash and then it comes back. And one might say, okay, and what's the big deal about it? If it didn't disappear for a flash and then return, you would just keep hearing echo over echo, right? It's more important than we think because, and it's one of the details that shows the genius mind of the architect, yes, of this theater, because by disappearing, even for that flash of the moment, coming back, it doesn't, the performers did not get the echo of their voice then, and they don't now. So the sounds are crystal clear both ways, yes? Are we ready to hear this?
Yes.
Please stay focused. Can you feel how sometimes I go stronger and then lower? Once again. Look at my hands now. No effort. This is the whisper, don't scream, yes? Little detail. Here is your part now.
And sightless, his tender smile is dogged by birds who eye and mock his outstretched nakedness. He is the Creedus to me, Ismene. He is the Creedus to you, and is about to agree this to the entire city. And he will make one thing absolutely clear. Good Uncle Creon will not tolerate any infraction of his mighty law. The punishment is death. Public stoning, I believe. So is Ismene. It's up to you. Are you a coward, or born of a great father and mother?
Some beast, but the beast was always here.
See if you get white circles that look like snowflakes, like bubbles, or long white lines like vague clouds, yes? They say if people are perceptive to stories like this is the way it shows up on you. Then you might come back and you have the bubbles and you have the long lines in white, like the tail of a comet sort of line. And you might come back and say to me, Sophia, come on now. There were so many people walking in and out, and it was dust in the air that our cell phones or cameras captured, yes? Or we're all there, a lot of people were using flashes, and that's why we got it. Here's the challenge for you. You enter, and on the right, there's a little cave. It was just a secondary chamber. They were putting amphora pottery with seeds of grain and olive oil. They wanted to give food to the souls for their journey to the other world. Yes, that's what the cave was for. So no one can enter the cave. You just see that it's there, but you cannot go in, right? So standing at the entrance to the cave, the door that is there, facing it, click a few times and see if you get the bubbles or the lines, because it's not dust in the air, nobody walks in there, and it's not flashes because nobody's in there. Okay, so come back and show me and Antonio if he was happy that you came visiting, guys. Come on, 10 minutes.
It can't be in here anymore.
It doesn't flash? You're being serious?
Yeah.
It hasn't flashed at all.
No, it
It just
flashes.
did,
No, it flashes, but it won't.
Right in the middle here. So we my soft footsteps echo. I'm just tapping my feet now. Hello?
Put the clay exactly in the center of the wheel, because if it's not in the center of the wheel, the clay will just fly off. All right? So by using his thumbs, he will give the depth of the vase by pressing in the center. Then with the rest of his fingers, he will give the height, and then he will open up around to give the shape. This is the vase that we are going to be making for you. This is called a crater. Do you know what it was used for? Do you know? For wine. It was used to mix wine and water. Because the feast would last for days, in ancient Greece they would mix the wine with water in order for them not to get drunk. Or at least that's what they thought. Because if you drink for a week, you would get drunk eventually, right? So what happens here, after he makes the vase, we wait a couple of hours for it to dry, and then we put on the handles. Why do we wait for 2 hours? Because if we put the handles on while the vase is still wet and flexible, it will lose its form. All right? After that, we let it dry. Before that, we use a sponge, dip the sponge in the water, and clean the surface around to smoothen it up. Then we let it dry for a day. Then we turn it upside down for almost a week. Why do we do that? Because the base is a lot thicker. In order to hold the weight of the vase, it needs longer to dry. If it doesn't dry up evenly from top to bottom, and we put it into the oven here. Dimitra, where's my helper? Dimitra, this is Dimitra. She's my little helper. Something like Santa's helper, you know? These are the ovens that we have here. These are what we use to fire the vases, all right? If the vase does not dry evenly and we put it into the kiln there, because it is 970 degrees, it will crack and fall apart. It might even explode if it's still damp. All right, Dimitri is finished. Wow. All right, this is the vase.